What's up, you guys? It is DragonBlaze here, and today we are here with another video where I've invited a few people for talking about the unpopular opinions. So for today, I have Bjorn and I also have Nosaka. I don't know what your last name is or even your first, but it's okay. Guys, reveal yourselves.
I'm HK16, baby. Let's go. What's going on, everyone?
I'm Bjorn for RyuuseiBoys, guys. Come on.
I am quite happy that I was able to actually invite you guys. And after a lot of technical difficulties, we're not gonna talk about it. We were able to still, get everything to start. For today, we're going to have some unpopular opinions, obviously, and these ones are not necessarily all from us, but like from all other Inazumatubers, and because like it's all Inazumatubers just talking about certain topics, I thought it was fun to talk about. The first one that we have is actually from the Damn Beaver, and yes,
Beaver.
he or she, I don't know, they said, he said, Mark is a bland character. So, Chal, I have to say this, like, he's kind of standard for, like, a shonen character. But bland, like, actually bland, like, no character whatsoever. I don't know, but I mean, like, hey, that's me.
I think I have to disagree. Yeah, he's basic, but not bland. There's more than enough personality there. He's got a whole backstory. He's got a sad character arc with his granddad and stuff like that. He may be happy-go-lucky and straightforward, but definitely not bland. Definitely not bland.
Okay.
I think that he has a good backstory with his grandfather, but it's too much a yes man. So only come on guys, we can do it, we can win. But with his friendships a little bit low, I think. So it's a little bit.
Like, I do have to say that the character is kind of, I have to be honest, he does do the same things over and over again. Like, there is no real variety with how he, like, approaches situations. Literally, nearly every single situation is just, well, but, like, we just gotta do it, guys. Like, just step it up, then a captain's speech, and then that's it. Yeah, like, I do have to, like, I have to agree with the fact that he just doesn't change, like, at all. Like, honestly, like, season 1 Endo is kind of like season 3 Endo as well, with just, like, some more things that, that he learned and everything, but, like, he's not necessarily, like, that much of a changed character with his actions, so, I do feel this one. Like, yeah, that's kind of like my thing. Does anyone else have something to say about this one, or can we move on? We have a lot of opinions.
That I love that Travis screamed at him in the famous Korea match. So
I can't.
Yeah,
I like that.
Like, you're useless. You're no captain. Get on the bench. It was a good scene.
Thank you.
It was everyone for like all the 3 seasons. Like, finally someone did it. I can't. Oh, this one, I think this one is actually one of my favorites. So Rain, slash, or in brackets, Tatsunami, said Stone was the worst game in the entire franchise for creating a story so out of this world that a literal alien tournament seemed more down to earth. So, Bjorn has some opinions apparently. Drop it down.
Inazuma 11-1 is the worst game ever done. Okay? Inazuma 11-1. Not 2, 3, 4, go Chronostones. No. Inazuma 11-1 because it's way worse than everything. The story is so basic. The story is so narrated wrongly, and I couldn't think that Chrono Stones, it's the best Go season I ever watched and I ever played. And I can't think that Chrono Stones is the worst game ever done. Please. It has a real great story. It has a real great gameplay. So I can think of it. Of that. But Rain, I love you. So
yeah, there is no way that Chrono Stones is the worst in any timeline, in any situation, any universe. Chrono Stones is never the worst. Don't get me started. Chrono Stones is amazing, right? I'm a big like nerd of like for like the time travel and universe stuff. So to be able to like have that like incorporated into Inazuma 11, perfect. Not the first time we've time traveled because of the Go Ogre movie, not the Go Ogre, but the Ogre movie. Yeah, sure. So we've had time traveling before. This just extends on in a better way, and it brought us some of the best characters. Some of the best friendships, best storylines, some of the best opponents too. So don't even dare tell me that Chrono Stones is the worst. Thank you.
It has also the best family background of the whole series. The Rune family is so good. Come on.
Okay, let me actually like hop into this one because this one actually was one of the more spicier ones for me. So first off, I don't think that Chrono Stones is the worst game. That is just not it. But let's talk about the story though, because the story is so unbelievably inconsistent and chaotic to the point where an actual alien tournament story made more sense, because that was the most okay, let me tell y'all, okay?
Are you talking about Galaxy, not Chrono Stones?
Yes, because basically she compared it to like that a literal alien tournament seemed more down to earth. So let me tell you, right? Chrono Stone started first off only as mans from the future, and they want to destroy soccer, blah blah blah. They want to take over the world, this and that. Then it was like, okay, sure. Then Tenma is like, of course, like main character does his thing, blah blah blah. Like I was like, okay, I'm down for this. First 3 episodes, and then we're also talking about the game, but like, you know, game anime is kind of the same. I was just like, okay, well, cool, everything is fine. But after that, there comes in brainwashing, playing soccer against like literally everything that breathes and does not breathe, like robots, terracotta armies, dinosaurs, androids. Like we are maxing with historic figures, dinosaurs. Like with dragons, literal like mythical creatures and everything. The characters on your team always get destroyed, and in the anime everyone got destroyed, and the opponents were always the most OP people ever. If they would get a power boost, it would destroy everyone. But if Raymond would get one, if Kirino got like his Mixie Max, cool, but the next match, obliterated. If Shinsuke got it, cool, obliterated the next match. The same thing was for his, like, I think we all know about Shinsuke and his performance in Chrono Stone. What performance? Like, he legitimately, he can get a Mixie Max, he can evolve all of his moves, but it will still always be Mixie Transit, Luby, Taikoku, like all the time, like endlessly. And just all of the things that in between happened, it was just like, so we are having a season where the whole purpose of going throughout this journey is to get this special power for all of these characters to become the strongest OP team ever. And guess what? They aren't! Because they keep on getting destroyed. It was so flabbergasting to me, where I was just like, okay, when we go to like I guess just space, and we just have like one story, like one tournament, that's all. The only thing they gotta do is just fight against other teams. it's so much more understandable. It's literally just their opponents are aliens. That was it. But Chronostones was like, oh no, and now the mother is coming back from the future, but now she is the younger variant, and she is looking out for a child and everything. And then the father is like, boy, it was just such a headache. Like, I'm not gonna say that Chronostones was bad, but the story is so extremely chaotic. So
I'm sorry, but Galaxy 1 started off by bringing back Kageyama Reiji, which they just shouldn't have done.
Yeah, that was also weird.
Two, Kageyama Reiji could then see the souls of human beings, and those souls were actually animals. 3, the Sazonarans, the people in that planet, could see into your soul as well. They could read your mind, so we've got mind-reading aliens, and all the way at the end of it, we have an alien team that was in a deep sleep for like however many years, and then they can make your soul turn against you. And at the very end, we blot out a black hole with the power of football. I think time travel is way more down to earth than stopping a black hole with a football.
I felt like, to me, I definitely felt like, because, okay, we also have to talk about how there were so many parallel universes and blah blah blah. Like bringing certain characters back, like Tsurugi Yuchi. Tayo was fine, while at first he wasn't. Like, Tenma got so many different moves, got like Keshin armed out of nowhere, all of that stuff. I was just like, boy, what is going on? Like, there are so many possibilities. And I also felt like, once again, the inconsistency with the amount of possibilities that there were, because for example, you had Tenma, who at first was out of nowhere OP because like so many versions of him, but then later on, as other characters time travel and stuff, it's just like it's just not there, the OP-ness and all of that.
I can explain that. I can explain that.
Like, I don't know.
So it's like, for example, the reason Tenma experienced the time resonance phenomenon was because a change in history had happened, and then they've traveled, so there's multiple different Tenmas because the change in history has created new parallel worlds that are like coexisting side by side. But when they're traveling to, like, because obviously Protocol Omega have come in and they've changed the past, right?
Yeah.
And Tenma and crew have gone back to fix that. But in the, like, more onwards in the story, they aren't time traveling to fix changes, they're time traveling to get stronger. So time isn't changing, so time resonance phenomenons can't happen because time isn't splitting off into different paths when they time travel. Whereas before it was because they were reverting changes that Protocol Omega had made, if that makes sense.
I guess that makes sense, but it's still like, the entirety of the season, we are trying to get this power, and still near the end, we are getting our asses handed to us. So, it was quite a season. There were quite a lot of things that happened, and it basically also had next to no impact. Like, the season after, it literally just continues without everything. I was just like, what a story, and nothing happened at the end of the day. Like, I don't know. Regardless, Chronostone is great, but I do think it has the most chaotic story.
I'll agree that it's chaotic, but that's like half the fun of it. For me, it's definitely not the worst. It's not the worst story. The worst story is Galaxy.
I think that for Chronostones, you have to work a lot with your brain to understand the timelines and the in the time in Chronostones, because that's so complicated. But slowly, you can arrive at that.
Alright, well, that was at least that one. That was a spicy one to talk about. Okay, this one is from, might be Mila, and she said, hard to swallow pill for Darren haters. They keep saying Darren is just a Mark copycat. But by that logic, Mark is just a David Evans copycat. So SCFU, let's go, Mila!
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
Darren as...
Oh!
No, oh gosh. Oh gosh. Darren knew that he copied Mark, and so finally, he got his first technique without copying anyone.
Exactly.
Mark always with that colosso. I don't know what to say in English. Colosso is like monster. With that monster. Oh my gosh. Hammer of the monster.
Arrow Fury.
Majin the Hand. Always that fucking Colossus, because he doesn't know how to do other techniques. Darren created one without anything, and Mark is creating techniques only because there is his grandfather that he gave the
notebook,
the book, and oh my gosh, I know how to do techniques. Oh my gosh, without creating anyone by zero.
He actually, let me think. I think in total, because you know what the funniest thing is, like in the first season he had like, I think Blazing Knuckle and Fireball Knuckle. I don't think those were for his grandfather, but like those were just kind of like, where are these coming from? But sure. And then but also like I think in like season 3, he said like, I finally have a technique of my own, and that was Ichigen the Hand. But I totally agree with this one. Like, you cannot... I even made a video on it. Like, a lot of people were hating on Tachimakai for, like, copying everything. But I was just like, bruh, like, the entirety of, like, season 1 and 2, Endo has copied everything from his grandfather, and nobody be mentioning that. But okay. Yes. And also, the thing is, what is wrong with actually copying moves? What is the problem? Because it
what
makes
we
sense.
do when we were little, what we do when we were little, when we were saying we were seeing Inazuma and we wanted to try to copycat the moves.
Exactly.
It's also you got to think of it in this regard that both Mark and Darren definitely did start off by copying someone else. In Mark's case, it was his granddad. In Darren's case, it was Mark. But both of those players have then evolved on to become their own player. Darren learning Mao the Hand, Mark going from Martian the Hand and like Seigi no Tekken. Ikari no Tetsui, I count as Mark's own move because he came up with that himself.
I guess.
Ichigen the Hand is Mark's own move. He was inspired by Dave, but he didn't copy Dave for God Catch because that was 3 words. It wasn't a whole like page of a technique. So God Catch is Mark's own move. God Hand V is Mark's own move. He has a lot of his own stuff, and this is just the original time, and this isn't even Ares and Orion either.
Exactly.
So to say that for their entire story they copied people is just not true. Their origins are copying people, but they aren't copycats because they had inspiration and they took it and ran with it into their own rights. So to call either of them copycats is not on. I just don't like Darren because I don't like him. For me, that's my opinion. But I don't like him because I don't like him because he's a copycat, because he's not. If you know what I mean. Yeah, he's original enough to be original.
Yeah.
I think the only copycat team is Neo Japan. I think that.
Yeah, because they literally copied everyone's moves.
Yes.
Yeah. Granted, they did evolve them. But it was just the same move on a different person.
Which, once again, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I think that we all were surprised.
I liked it.
Cool.
I liked the plot.
Yeah,
I liked that plot twist. I was like, what? Dvalin is using God knows. Okay.
Illusion Ball.
Okay, you go.
Like, I think we were all just fine as well in, like, the first season when, like, I think Arata went for Fire Tornado, like the dude for brainwashing. I thought we were all fine with that, but like later on, when Tachimakai became a thing, out of nowhere there was hate. I was like, okay, people. But I have to be honest, I was one of them at first, but then I matured. So, continuing.
Good boy. Good boy, Andrew.
Continuing. We have
the main reason I don't like him is because he's weak in the games.
Oh, okay, I mean.
So, that's why I don't like him, to be honest. It's just because he's not as useful in the games.
Don't worry, I'll kill you anyway.
I mean, continuing. So, might be Mila, another one from her. Let's go over this one real quick. real quick, but she said hot take. I don't like Goldie or Beta. I want to say slander, but
it is slander.
Like,
that is blasphemy.
I love them so much. Like, I love these characters so much. Like, I just can't. Like, these characters are just so amazing. I just love both their personalities and whatever they're doing in their season. They just did it right. Like, kind of slander.
I love Mila, don't get me wrong, but that opinion is so bad. It's so bad.
I can't.
Oh
my god, what happened?
So bad. The entire community is gonna come for her.
Guys,
all the beta
we killed
stands.
our careers. Ooh. We killed our careers. What the heck has happened? Okay.
I'm back.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
But like, we can't really negate this, right? Because we don't know why Mila doesn't like Beta or Goldie, but I suppose we can argue the points as to why we like them. I mean, personally, I like Beta because, like, when she switches up and gets all, like, aggressive and evil, that's just, it's fun to watch. I enjoy watching it, you know, and her fighting spirit is sick, her Hisatsus are sick, her design is great. So, you know, I mean, what's not to like? She's got the personality to boot as well. Like, there's nothing to really dislike. I can kind of understand not liking Goldie. Like, at some point she did get on my nerves, but like overall as a character, she was great. In the games, she was really strong, along with Beta. In the games, Beta was really strong too. So, you know, I wouldn't say they're bad or anything like that, to be honest.
Done. Bjorn.
I think the same. And 1 point. Beta's voice in Italy has the same voice of Bulma from Dragon Ball. Yeah.
For real? Okay.
Yes. Yes. So it's a real point. Good point. Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's.
And for me, I just stand the characters. I love them. Like, like from the start. Oh, oops. From the start, I was just like, whoa, Beta. Like, why is she so out there? Love it. Then she was destroying everyone. Loved it. And Kinoko, wow, Kinoko, Moshi Moshi Kanako Moshi, her Kishin, her personality. I'm always down for a character like that. I have to be honest. I'm always down. And I think this is the last one from Mila. Oh my gosh, she was on a roll. And she said, and this is the tea. The Go managers might as well not have been there. Like, I have to be honest, the Go managers did like zip.
They sucked.
But but I mean, I love Midori.
The J.
Besides Midori.
I love the J.
Yeah, hey, Midori was a baddie. Like,
Jade,
I liked her.
Jade was cool, but like Sky and Rosie were just kind of boring. To be honest. At least Jade was funny. Her aggressiveness towards Ryoma and stuff like that. It was Jade at least had a bit of comedy relief there.
She had personality.
Sky is just a knockoff Sylvia, and Rosie is just a Shindo simp. You know that's her entire personality. Yeah, the Go managers compared to even the Ares managers, boring.
Yeah.
Like the Ares managers had more personality, and Anna Mikado is just a Nelly ripoff. So I mean, for the Ares managers to be more interesting than the Go managers must have sucked to a major degree, which they did.
Yeah. They were fun for
Mila
the background though.
There.
So I included this one, but I don't know why. Singh said, here's an unpopular opinion, Todd should have been part of the Ultimate 11. I just didn't know how to respond. So, continuing. So, Till the Toaster said, Norika is a good goalkeeper, and that's the tea! Okay, sorry, but
I think so. Come on.
Like, it has to be said.
Why we have to blast every goalkeeper in the world when the anime is built about strikers beating always the goalkeepers?
Oh my goodness.
Why?
Oh my goodness.
Sorry, but Norika's a good goalkeeper. No, she's not.
She is.
Yes, she's.
Oh my
she
goodness.
Is.
I made a video about this one. I am going to get into this one. Okay, listen up. When we have a season like RS where the strikers... Okay, let's compare it to like season 1, like the first season, right? The strikers are throwing Perfect Penguin, Emperor Penguin, Emperor Penguin number 2, freaking Triple Blizzard and everything. And then we have in the first season, we have what? Phantom Shot, Tarzan Kick, Condor Dive? Like, what is... Like, how can you compare that? Like, hello? At some point, I really thought to myself, like, okay, this season is straight up about, like, the strikers and how strong they are. And Norika, like, Norika was putting in the work, though. Like, she had opportunities to stop shots, and she did. And the moment that she got Mermaid Veil, I tell you, this character upgraded. This character upgraded. She stopped Triple Blizzard. She was able to stop other shots near the end. And she didn't let as much in, or at least have as many worst or really bad moments. But even in Orion, like, this character was one of the best goalkeepers. Like, and that is just a T. That just has to be said. Like, it definitely was Endo was the best. But Norika with Magina Wave and everything, Sis was unstoppable. They had to use sleeping gas on her. She was getting out there, and that is the T. That's it.
But I think also that the Inakuni team was not playing anywhere. They were a team in Ormedia or Inakuni. Stop. They had fun. So the first year of the real tournament, obviously they are not ready for the first match, and also they are constantly graduating their style, their force, their stamina, and other things. So it's normal that Norika concedes goals so often, but she's a real good goalkeeper, and in Orion demonstrate this. So I think that blasting the goalkeepers always because they're doing their jobs, so trying to keep trying to not to concede goals, it's so useless, because Inazuma 11 is an anime that was built on strikers always breaking the goals, always beating the goalkeepers. So why always this? Why we have to think about Darren is not a good goalkeeper, Norika is not a good goalkeeper, but also Maki is not a good goalkeeper because he conceded 32 goals on the second match with Gemini Storm. Guys, come on!
That is it.
It's the question is though that, like, the fundamentals of it is, like, is Norika a good goalkeeper? You have to consider her skill overall, right? Because you could make the comparison of, like, Inazuma 1 to Ares with the difference in strikers, right? But Mark was a good goalkeeper in Inazuma 1. He saved quite a fair amount of shots in his time, whereas and like, I would say Mark was weaker than a lot of the strikers he came up against for a while before he started getting really good. Whereas with Norika, of course she started off weaker than the rest because she came from, like, some random nowhere team, right? But to say that she's a good goalkeeper when she is failing so many times, right, against... Yes, she's up against the top tier of players, but to be a good goalkeeper, you'd have to be in that top tier of players, and she's not. She is not a good goalkeeper. She lets in too many goals to be classed as a good goalkeeper, in my opinion. It's not that I don't like her. I like her character, but she's not a good goalkeeper. She lets in too many goals to be classed as a good goalkeeper. The only time I'd say she was a good goalkeeper is once she got Marge in the Wave. But apart from that, she was not good. I'm sorry, but she wasn't.
But
she wasn't up there enough to be good enough.
Hold up, but, like, okay, first off, like, I feel where you're going at. I'm still just like... nah, I don't know, because, like, basically, she's basically, even in the end of RS, she is fighting against, once again, the top tiers. Like, if you cannot beat, like you have like low tier, mid tier, high tier, top tier, you know, like I kind of see it like that. If you lose against the top tier, that does not mean you're trash, in my opinion. That is so like unbelievable. You have to win, or you have to be able to keep up with the top tier. When I'm saying top tier, then I mean like, you know, like the 1%, the 5%, whatever. That is so ridiculous if you cannot be there and then have to be classified as trash. That is so ridiculous to me. Like even high, like there has to be like a threshold, like medium, high, top. Like she was down, she was up there in like in high top, if you ask me. She did just fine. I'm not saying she was an amazing goalkeeper. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm also not saying that she was trash, because she stopped certain shots that were ridiculous. Like a freaking triple blizzard, like stuff like that. It's just like, how can we classify her as bad? And also here, if we say that after Majin the Wave she was good, that's the last season, and after that, like, she didn't concede too much. So at that point, she already has to be seen as good then. So that's just kind of like what I think.
In my opinion, right, she's not bad. Like I would class her as genuinely average. Like she passes the threshold for me just enough to like be considered as decent. Like if I had to, I'd put her on my team. But there are always going to be options that are better than her. Do you know what I mean? Like she's not bad, but she's still not good. Like for me to consider a player as good, right, I would want to put them on my team, and I don't want to put Naraka on my team.
Okay.
Just because, like, I feel like if she was given more of a spotlight and had more time to improve in the way that like level 5 set out for her, she could have been amazing. She could have been amazing if she had more time with like Marge in the Hand or Marge in the Wave, or been able to, you know, learn more and get stronger, because she had the work ethic. I'll give her that much. She tried her bloody hardest, and I can appreciate that. But I feel like with given more time, Norika would have been among that top tier. But at the moment, she's just not.
Okay. I mean, I think that's fair enough, honestly. I think that's fair enough. Like, once again, I do think, like, a girl really showed off that she was out there. Because I don't want to also necessarily say, like, if you were on Inazuma Japan, you were good. Because, like, Noboru, Mansaku, oof, let's not talk about them. Or Saginuma, let's not talk about him. But, like, I felt like when they put in Norika, oh, that was like a top tier choice, I'm not gonna lie. But
I was very happy to see her on Inazuma Japan. Very happy. I liked the new haircut as well.
Oh, actually,
definitely better than our old one.
Oh, seriously? I like the old one though, but continuing. He had one here. Tatsuya moving to defensive Orion was cool. And then in brackets, just needed a moment to process it. And Till, I love you, my man. And I totally agree with this one. Like, for real.
Yeah.
Okay, first off, I already love defenders anyway. Like, if you're a defender, like, you already get like a +2 in my book. But the way that they treated Tatsuya, it went from I think from like a forward to a midfielder at the start to a defender. And they just, oh my goodness, they just said like, okay, you know, the soccer IQ, he has all of that, and he has the offensive power as well. But we just want to put him in defense over here. I thought, oh my goodness, this is crazy. What is going on? And then Kamakura Dimension, I think, also was a thing. Bruh, like, they sent me. They sent me with that stuff. Like even though he did not get like his own defensive move, I would have screamed my lungs out if he actually got one. But I actually love the concept. I really did. Because once again, we have seen like a lot of characters from like the previous seasons already in, of course, this season. And to me, it was all about how they implemented those characters. Because we do not necessarily need to see another season of Goenji, like, you know, shooting and scoring like 80 goals for everyone. Like Kido doing all of the mastermind tactician things all over again and just getting the wins, or Endo being, you know, like the whole, hey, I win for everyone and I'm always here type of thing, which he still kind of was, but like in a different type of way. So the fact that they just grabbed Tatsuya and they, well, I mean, they gave him a different name, of course, and they were just like, we'll make him a defender. Brilliant move, beautiful, amazing, I loved it.
It was really good, right? Because like we were just talking about a second ago, like Ares and Orion having loads of forwards and really loads of powerful forwards. Even the concept of a forward in Ares and Orion kind of got washed out for me because there was just too many of them. So for them to take my favorite character and breathe new life into him by making him a defender, perfect. Because one, we've already seen him as with defensive capabilities in the OG seasons. We've seen him defending, we've seen him captaining and commanding the defense. It has happened. I can't remember when exactly, but it has happened. So for them to then take that into a whole new way and actually make him a defender, it worked really well for me. I mean, I've got a poster of him on the wall. You know, he is my favorite character, and for me to be able to say that I liked what they did, it says something, right? Because they've taken my favorite character out of his best position and given him something new, and you'd assume that someone who had that as their favorite character wouldn't like that, but I did. They did it well. They could have done it better, but they did it well enough that I still enjoyed him as a character, so it wasn't a bad decision.
Yes. Bjorn.
And I love when I see characters that I've recreated. So when I saw this and Tatsuya during the Kamakura D, I was so pleased. I was so happy because wow, they made a good choice. But Italian community doesn't care about it because Tatsuya is the striker, the most beautiful striker about the earth. Why do you have to recreate him as a defender? You stupid. You stupid. I say that because I think recreating a character is so good, and with Tatsuya, they have done it so well.
So, from Tail, a popular opinion, Ichihoshi did nothing as a player, and then he said, oh wait, that's a fact. So, let's talk about Ichihoshi's impact. I actually wanted to start, but you can go. Like, break the ice.
I say a fact.
Here we go.
The general was created by Ichihoshi.
Without Ichihoshi, the general wouldn't exist. It wouldn't.
So basically, just as Bjorn said, oh wait, first up, like I really can go ham on this topic. So I first, Charlie, do you want to say something about this one?
What Bjorn said, like the general wouldn't exist without Ichihoshi. He had the brains and the physical abilities, like from the two brothers merging. So he was good like on the pitch and up in his head. He analyzed all of his teammates and all of the opponents for the general every time it was used. Every time it was used, he had to analyze the enemy team every time it was used, and every time a new member joined Inazuma Japan, he had to analyze them too. And obviously, as the players grow and improve and evolve, he has to reanalyze them. So for him to do that and then send those instructions to Nosaka needed Ichihoshi to be as good of a like, you know, commanding tower as he was. If Ichihoshi wasn't there, Inazuma Japan wouldn't have won. I'm sorry, but they wouldn't have won the FFI. In my opinion, they needed Ichihoshi for a lot of the stuff they ended up doing. And let's not forget about Blue Stardust and Planet Break, because they're both incredibly good Hisatsus.
Oh my gosh. Bruh. When he went, I got chills down my spine. I was screaming when I saw Planet Break. I thought
Chain 2, Planet to Break.
Oh my gosh,
so
the
good.
start of it. I just can't. Okay, so I'm gonna end this one off about Ichihoshi, because let's talk about the fact that Ichihoshi, like, okay, did nothing as a player. First off, like, we already, of course, the general, analyzing the team. Like, he did nothing. Like, Ichihoshi enabled a tactic. Ichihoshi enabled his teammates. He, like, without him, the general would not exist. The whole analyzing would not be there. Like, he was part of the offense, and one of the biggest things. How is it possible that this slander can exist? He was the key component for Last Resort Sigma. What?
Yep.
Is this slander? How is this possible? Then, like, of course, like, Last Resort Sigma is straight up like one of my favorite moves from Orion, because I think the move is so ridiculous, so unexpected, and so brilliant at the same time. It is just unbelievable that that fact in itself is just so ignored. I just cannot believe it. The Last Resort Sigma was so important. The General was so important. Ichiyoshi had impact. He was even there in the story. He had like a connection with the opponent.
He had the connection with Froy.
Yeah. So the fact that it is actually said he did nothing as a player, and that is fact. Slander. So that is basically all I got to say for today. These were all the opinions. I really hope that you guys have enjoyed this video. It was fun to actually sit here and talk with the people, Bjorn and Charlie. Thank you guys so much for actually being here. Their links are obviously going to be in the description down below. Please give them a follow. Please give them a sub and everything that you also want to do. I do know that both of these guys are also streaming on Twitch, so go there as well. And yeah, other than that, y'all can just, you know, end it off a bit yourselves for what else you may want to say.
Help me on the road to 500 subscribers. We're on 460. We're so close. We're so close. I'd appreciate it so much.
May I say in Italian? Can I?
Okay, sure. You go.
Mi raccomando, mettete mi piace e iscrivetevi. Ciao.
Leave a like down below. Is that what you said?
Yeah, and subscribe.
Oh, and subscribe. Okay, well, at least I am good with interpreting. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you guys in, yeah, I guess, another video. Thank y'all. Goodbye.